Hello and welcome to this update to Blit Paint, and I'm just going to go ahead and start showing you some of the new features. So before we had the rocks and things here, we've also got mouse mode that lets you kind of stamp without any size changes. You just press M for that. So F2, we've got grassy things. We can choose two colors as before, and we can also press 1 to 10 or 1 to 0 to get opacity. F3 gives us grass, and as you can see, it kind of follows its way around. You can change some colors up of this. F4, we got rid of the crazy leaves and we're going more arty here. So if I do Shift and R, I can switch this 90 degrees and do some kind of cross hatching effect. And yeah, kind of layer that up. Shift C clears the canvas. F5, we've got our dashes here, so I'm going to do Shift R to rotate, and it's one of my favorite brushes. And if you press R, it switches it to follow mode, and R again to disable that. Shift R to rotate 90 degrees. Shift C to clear. So F6 is another new brush that I've created, and it's very kind of painterly, kind of looks like a scarf in a way, and it's quite interesting. So I'm just going to pick a few tones, and it does have that kind of streaky effect that you would get from real paints, and I've tried to make that look kind of apparent. Okay, F7 is another new one, which is kind of going to be my favorite. This just is like a vertical streak, but you have to be careful because you can really do these kind of radial sort of stars if you're not too careful with it. You can press R to put it onto kind of flat mode, and then Shift R to turn it 90 degrees, and this way you can get kind of straight lines from it. And I guess you can use that to build up a bit of a frame. I like how painterly this one looks. Yeah, you can do a whole forest of things like that, or like some ground detail. It's already pretty cool. So that's one of my favorites. The next one, F8, is just these little squares. I think I'll replace this at some point. It's got its novelties of making everything look like some kind of pixel art, and that might be a nice style choice. You can put the rarity all the way up, so you just hold down that button and it will act as spacing. Or if you're using the mouse, you can press M for mouse mode and sort of stamp some of these around. See, if you hold the mouse button down, it starts to dance these. Now if you turn the rarity way up, that will actually not happen as much, so you can kind of just place these around. That's a good thing about that. So F9 is cross hatching, instant cross hatching. Let's just scale that down a bit and put the spacing all the way down, and we can really get loads of those. And you can also make that follow. If you press R, you can make it follow, and it kind of has this tartan pattern type look. We'll make the brush really big. Let's go for red and yeah, red and black. Scale it all the way up. Okay, the next brush is, it's just dancing all over the place, isn't it? This one, oh, that's quite cool. Kind of looks like some kind of blood spats. This is a very arty brush, and it is called the arty brush, believe it or not. And you can see why it's got these kind of paint streaks to it, and it also follows the brush there. You can turn that off, obviously. Just press R, and actually got it as a brush like this. Shift R will rotate it, so you can do a nice waterfall. layers system is yet to be added, so just in case you get excited about layering in some sort of waterfall effect, everything has to be done in a kind of traditional way where you just overlap the existing paint. F9, I think we've seen. F10, F11 is these kind of very vectory sort of leaf shapes. Nothing really exciting about those, apart from them looking awesome when you start adding them to trees and things, and they give you instant sort of bush effect and really good for frames. Already we've got some sort of jungle thing building up here. Anyway, so F11 that was. F12 is our little kind of hair strand sort of things. So if you press R, they should follow the brush, and make that quite small, and then Shift R to rotate to see what kind of effect you want. And I have experimented a little bit with this to make hair, so I think you have to make it really small and just a bit of opacity in there, and then you can start to layer up some hair. Now the colours here aren't perfect. Mouse mode's on, so I'm just going to turn that off so that we have control. That's much better. Let's start again with that. Let's get some darker tones. And then you can do Shift R to get the variations in that. And you can kind of start to make hair in a way. And if you hold down F while you draw, you can actually create these little highlights. F is Additive Mode. And it's kind of generic hair. It doesn't look the best, does it? It's not exactly a hair tool, but I've got one of those in the works, so don't worry about that. Yeah, it's not the best hair tool, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, that follow. It just does all sorts of funky stuff. So you get F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6, F7, F8, F9, F10, sorry, F11, F12. And I'm going to be looking at making some kind of library system for these soon so that you can load in your own. And if you want any added, let me know. But it's a pretty cool tool. Doesn't have any undos, doesn't have any layers. It just kind of like paints with sprites, you know, different kinds. So you can see there's a whole sort of array of different images stored in this brush, and if you hold it down you can see it dancing through those brushes. So you can load in as many as you want really, but I'd do a maximum of 10. See, this one's just going to switch through a few. Hard to see that there. And then R to rotate, Shift R to change the angle. This one's a diagonal type brush, so yeah, some of the sizes are a bit off. So all the brushes will have presets, and I will be working on giving you access to all those in the next update. But yeah, you can have fun with this. It's free. You can get it on ArtStation and have a go at it. And if you want to recommend any brushes, or you get any you want me to add, I'll add them in. And yeah, we can play around with those. So thanks for watching. Bye.